Hello again. As I said in the previous video, I'm a 3D and 2D artisan, and now I would like to provide you with a deeper understanding of who I am. At least a bit, because there is a lot more to tell, and I also want to share something about this project. So far, I managed to gain experience in a wide range of fields, from creating functional models or buildings to create assets for games. The process also included creating textures and exports, as well as other things connected to the whole process. I also got myself on creating animations, and I happened to create some concept art as well. That's probably why I consider myself more of a generalist than some kind of specialist. While being a generalist has its advantages, it also presents its own set of challenges. The advantages of being a generalist primarily lie in versatility and continuous learning, which I really like, and that keeps my brain busy. I consider this a very good way to combat my disorder, because while I may not have a brain atrophy, performing the same task repetitively stops the formation of new neural connections. Therefore, each new episode of MS, each inflamed area, can mess up a lot. So our brain needs a way around. On the other hand, larger companies tend to show less interest in engaging with me due to my generalist profile. Well, if I could just sculpt in ZBrush as my main work, I would love that. By the way, ZBrush is my favorite program, so I hope that the new owner won't mess it up. Privately, I have various interests, but I don't always have time for them. These are, for example, handcrafting and playing with epoxy resin. But there are also things I don't intend to give up. These include exploring new places, capturing countless photos of architectural elements, but not only, reading books, and swimming. Swimming holds a special place for me. It provides a sense of complete functionality where no pain or discomfort bothers me. I exit the water because I'm running out of time, not because I'm tired. Yeah, go figure. It's a brilliant way to exercise the whole body and relax it. And this helps me tremendously. Okay, so why did I even decide to participate in this challenge if I have health problems and basically shouldn't be sitting so much in front of my PC? Even more than that, having a full-time job at the same time. There were several reasons behind my decision. The simplest one was the desire to test my capabilities and see if I could handle a challenge of this magnitude. After all, there were 8 concepts to do, 6 characters and 2 creatures. And that was only in the first stage. And at that moment, I was only thinking about participating in the first part of the challenge. But somewhere deep in my soul, I am still an ambitious beast. And I didn't stop with just the first part, as you can see on my ArtStation profile. Another reason that influenced my decision was a phrase that I hear all too often from one of my family members during my younger years. It was a discouraging stigma that still lingers and continues to affect me today. And this phrase was, "You are not going to finish it anyway." Nice, isn't it? So, as a personal project, not a professional one, the ArtStation challenge has a fairly low priority, and only my persistence in achieving this goal, despite everything, helped me reach it. It's kind of similar to this blog project, don't you think? However, the most important reason was my desire to improve my skills in creating concept art, which is something I don't get to do too often. Therefore, the ArtStation challenge provided the perfect reason for me to focus on and refine this specific skill set. The final reason is my love for the Forgotten Realms world, even though it has been several years since I last had the chance to participate in a paper RPG session. It's a bit sad, as some things don't last forever. However, throughout this challenge, I have been able to reconnect with the realms of fantasy and RPG, even if only in a small way. Of course, apart from reading books and playing games, that is still present. Okay, the challenge has begun. And what now? Where to start? Perhaps it would be wise to begin by reading through the requirements. So, the challenge involves creating fantastic characters and creatures set within a captivating world filled with magic, mysticism, enchantment, and dragons. By looking deeper into these tips, we can gather inspiration and begin our creative journey. Furthermore, there are also selected tutorials available, and the prospect of receiving feedback from knowledgeable individuals in the field. This presents an excellent opportunity to learn from experts and gain valuable insights. Great! So there is plenty to start. And to begin with, I have reviewed 5 of the 7 selected tutorials. While the remaining 2 didn't quite resonate with me, I found the majority of the provided tutorials to be quite helpful. 2 of them in particular gave me valuable insights. Additionally, one tutorial inspired me to create detailed bios for my characters and creatures. That is exactly why my characters have such elaborated descriptions. But hell, why not? After all, when you create new character or creature, it may be with a grand scale. And while illustrations can display visual aspects, they can't fully capture a character's thoughts or inner world. By developing detailed descriptions, I can provide a deeper understanding of my characters, showcasing their motivations, emotions, and complexities. It adds an additional layer of depth that complements the visual representation. And creating these bios, unfortunately, took up more of my time and added extra work. I even found myself working on them while visiting my in-laws for the weekend, which came as a bit of surprise to them. Well, but Anyway, I started thinking about what kind of characters I would create in general. I spent quite a long time in this universe and I know it a bit. So I aimed to establish a solid connection between my characters and this lore. Of course, I didn't close the possibility of letting my imagination run wild. So, first of all, Agnes Anabra was created as the main good character, and this is the introduction to her bio. Agnes, a young student of alchemy, capable and resourceful. She greatly respects her master, but feels that his old-fashioned approach is blocking her development, especially since the girl has an unusual ability that she knows no more about that it exists. In addition, she has developed her own formula that she would like to continue to enchant. However, she cannot do so for the fear of the master's wrath. She is very afraid to start a journey into the great unknown world. Not far from home, however, she noticed an individual who is about to change that. You can find the complete text on my ArtStation challenge page. The link is provided in the description below, and with your help, in the future, somewhere here on the screen. For now, I can do it. The main idea behind this character was to create a connection between humanoid characters and dragons, at least at first. It evolved into a broader concept where each character had some form of interaction with dragons. More or less, better or worse. Regarding what you can see on the screen, I typically began with sketching on paper. However, for this particular project, I decided to work directly with a graphics program to get a better effect of the recording and to be able to follow the tutorials provided by ArtStation. I wouldn't say that I stuck to them much. Instead, I glanced through them and extracted the most interesting elements, especially since I started with about a week's delay and had serious doubts that I would even make it. Actually, with this character, I was still testing how to approach this topic, and along the way, I decided that there is a better way to do it. So I'm stumbling a bit here. But as I said, I also wanted to brush up my approach to doing concepts. So now sketches of the other characters will follow. Then I will make a summary of this stage and we will move on to renders. And of course, I invite you to follow me, like and share my videos. And your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you and goodbye for now. There is one more thing that I need to say for a complete clarity, and I will say it again and again. I am not a doctor or any medical professional. The information I share is based on my personal observations, insights from healthcare providers, physical therapists, and various written sources. It's important to note that what works for me not necessarily be suitable or effective for others. So before adopting any practices or techniques mentioned by me, I strongly advise you to consult with a healthcare professional to ensure that you are not putting yourself at risk or causing harm. See ya!